Memphis launched a Hub City Hero program this year to showcase members of our community who selfishly and steadily give their time, their talents to improve the lives of others. Many citizens were nominated and one was selected for this month. And so please welcome Julanne Stone, who is our March Hub City Hero. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. Thank you very much. I'm very honored.
I'm glad to have you. So I guess you start off, just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, Julanne Stone. I have lived in Jackson for 20 years now. Well, 23 years actually. I'm married to a native of Jackson, Will Stone. We have 3 kids. 2 of those are at Mississippi State right now, and 1 is here in the 8th grade. I'm a registered nurse. I graduated, well, I went to University of Arkansas for a couple years, then transferred to Baptist Nursing School and got married, and then finished up my bachelor's here at the University of Memphis when it was at Jackson State. So worked at Jackson General for about 18 years before moving into this position as the executive director of Scarlet Road Project. So
You punched me twice there. 2 kids in Mississippi State and then going to Arkansas as an Ole Miss guy.
Well, my husband was Ole Miss, so there you go.
And so we know you've been giving back through your being a nurse and then now through Scarlet Road Project. So can you tell us a little bit about your work with the Scarlet Road Project and how that has started and what's going on with the Scarlet Road Project?
Yeah, absolutely. So Scarlet Road has been around for about 6 years now. I did not cast the vision for it. I was brought on in the early stages of it as a volunteer. And so after just being a volunteer for about 1.5 years and still working as a hospice nurse, I was asked to step into the executive director role. And so I did that. I was the first full-time employee for Scarlet Road. And at that point, we were under the West Tennessee Healthcare Foundation nonprofit. And that was just a great way to get our start. And so after being in that role for about 6 months or so, we realized we wanted to do some things and so we needed our own nonprofit status. So we started that process and eventually moved into our own safe house about 3 years ago. So we have a residential home here that can house up to 5 survivors of sex trafficking. And that's when it got real fun. Along the way, we've always said we're kind of building the plane as we fly it. So I really knew nothing about human trafficking, sex trafficking, and we just jumped in head first and started educating ourselves, going to different conferences throughout the United States, networking with other agencies that were doing things like this, and just really building our program specifically for the best services that we can provide for victims coming out of this. And then we launched kind of the second part of that, which was our hotel outreach, where we go into 4 different hotels in the city and we feed everybody at those hotels looking for potential victims of sex trafficking and just making relationships with those people. A local church, Inglewood, recognized what we were doing, and so they've partnered in with us now. So they're really kind of helping us with that. So twice a month we're at some hotels feeding everybody. And then the third component was the education and awareness, bringing that into our community. That's how we're going to fight human trafficking, sex trafficking, is making people aware. It is here. It is in our smaller cities. And so what that looks like, knocking out some of the myths and talking about how it preys upon the vulnerable among us and educating people to kind of know the signs of what that looks like.
Fantastic. I think I said March Hub City Hero, April's Hub City Hero. So I can get all the days and the months run together right now. Could you tell us, a little bit about the program for helping the vulnerable out? What that looks like for helping someone out of the life of being sex trafficked and human trafficked?
Yeah, so our program is designed to it's a residential home. And then we also have services for those that are still kind of in the cycle, just making those relationships, building that trust and letting them know that there's a safe place to come. But when they enter into the Scarlet Road Project, it is 18 months to 24 months. It's a commitment, but we know that that's what these survivors need. There's a lot of trauma that actually happened early on, usually in childhood, that created a vulnerability that a trafficker has preyed on and kept them in that situation. And so we have a lot of specific programs and groups directed towards healing for survivors of sex trafficking. Another big component is that addiction. All the women that we've served in our safe house, that's 34 now, all have some type of addiction. And so working hand in hand with our recovery community, Aspel and Jacoa, we say that the first two things that have to happen before healing can start is you've got to be sober and you've got to feel safe. And so that's really the main component in the very beginning. And then incorporating a lot of trauma services. We try our best to be a trauma-informed facility. And so recognizing that some things, how people are triggered and helping them overcome those triggers through trauma therapy. We are faith-based. And so we rely heavily on prayer, and we don't really mind if a woman comes in and she doesn't believe, that's fine. We take that into consideration. We don't press anything on them, but we just want them to have the opportunity to hear about Christ and to build that relationship with him. So it really is a program that's very holistic, providing wraparound services, everything from working with probation officers to working with DCS. Some of these children, their kids are in DCS, to helping them with job placement. We have one that will be starting in Jackson State next fall. So it's very individualized. We want to hear their voice, and we want their collaboration in what they need.
That's fantastic. And so if someone wants to get involved and someone wants to help out and someone feels called to help the Scarlet Rope Project out, how can a citizen get involved?
Well, we do have Crawfest that is coming up April the 17th at Huff City Brewery. So they can go on our Facebook page or our website right now, and they can buy a ticket for that. So that's right off the bat. That's how you can help us. The other thing is we are launching our volunteer program the end of April. So that's going to be an online process. We've been working actually with a student from Madison Academic from their computer department that's helping us get that online, which has been awesome. And so that will be an online application, and then the training will be in May. Another thing is ask us to come speak to your organization, your churches, your businesses. Again, that raises awareness about what we're doing. And so, and it lets people, again, it educates people on exactly what it looks like. And then we're always asking people to collect things for us for our safe house. Whatever you need in your house, we need in ours. Light bulbs, toilet paper, things like that. There's not a lot of hands-on with the survivors just because of the nature of what we're dealing with in the small community that we want them to have in the very beginning to build that trust with them. So those are some things, and most importantly, just prayer. I mean, prayer has just been so powerful in Scarlet Rope. So yeah.
That's great. And so let's say you started off as a nurse and then transitioned into the nonprofit world, and that's giving back. So if someone's interested just in giving back to their community and just trying to find a way to do that, you got any words of wisdom for them?
Yeah. So I've been in this for 6 years. I will say the things that have kept me going are prayer and people in my life that have supported me and know me and hold me accountable, and then just being consistent. If you're not a praying person, I would say suggest it. I would try it. It worked for me. It has just really been a game changer for me and what I'm doing. And then, when we started this 6 years ago, I knew we did not want to be an island. We did not want to just be a nonprofit by ourselves. There are so many great things in this community, great people. Reach out to those, network with those people. That's where your resources are to begin something else. Don't go at it alone. And then also have those people in your life that are going to encourage you and hold you accountable and going to believe in yourself sometimes when you don't believe in yourself. I can say that personally. And then, the consistency, just show up, even on a crappy day, show up. And yeah, and don't ask anybody to do anything that you wouldn't do. So
That last line is probably the best one. Julianne, thank you so much for what you do and giving back to the community and serving those who need it the most. And so if you are interested in nominating a Hub City Hero, you can visit our website, jacksontn.gov, and click on Hub City Hero under the Mayor's Projects and Initiatives. Our recipients are selected monthly, and at the end of the year, our Hub City Heroes, of 12 of them being recognized, one will be awarded with a $1,000 donation to the charity of their choice. So I can imagine if Julanne selected where she will give her $1,000.
yep.
Julanne, thank you so much, and thank you for the work you do, and we sure do appreciate you.
Thank you very much.